everybody. Welcome to WakeUpToLife.tv with Kelsey
and Karen. Do you have a story to tell? I believe we all have a story. I mean, we've come from somewhere, and it's a belief system that we carry through our life, and the pain, we carry the pain and the suffering, or the joy, whatever that looks like. And I think it's really important that we become aware of the story that we keep creating over and over and sharing with other people. Is it serving us, or is it not serving us?
Well, so often there's what really happened, and then there's the interpretation and the story that we created around it. And a lot of it, if we were to go back, may not even be true.
Yes, yes.
A lot of the time it isn't. And think, like, there's some pretty pivotal moments that people have when they're like 5, 6, and 7 years old. Our brain isn't even fully developed yet to comprehend what actually happened and what the real motivation behind it was. And, you know, it's too bad because so often we create these stories about the woe is me, and we drag it on all our lives, and then we're adults and we're carrying around this 5-year-old story.
And just wanting attention.
Yes.
Wanting approval.
Well, what does a 5-year-old want, right?
Yes.
It wants love.
Exactly.
Love, and acceptance. And our defining moment occurs when all of a sudden we realize that that doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
And it's like, whoa, 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 where's the love? Where's the acceptance? And all of a sudden, bam, something happens. So even just kind of looking in our lives and saying, you know, what pivotal moment am I carrying around? And one great exercise that I've done before is take that story, write it all out, and then take the point of view of someone else in that story and try and look at it in their eyes. Because it would really start to shift perspective and give a new insight to, oh, maybe it didn't quite happen that way.
Yes.
And to be able to shatter that belief that has been carried on for however long, however old you are, woo, that can be instant change.
And it's recognizing that it's our belief system that we are carrying through into our adulthood. And we can move into higher realms of wealth, career, and for instance, I just read in the newspaper about a man who he invented some computer software and had a very successful company, became a millionaire, had the home, you know, where
picket fence.
Exactly, right? And then all of a sudden he could not handle his wealth, and unfortunately he started into the cocaine and became an addict. And unfortunately that's happened to a lot of people, and we're just not even aware of it, and how many people are suffering out there because they cannot handle the pressures of their life, the pressures of their career. They cannot handle the story that they're carrying with them because it's a burden and they're carrying it on their shoulders, and they don't know how to let it go. And unfortunately, people end up losing their job, their career, their homes, their families, and they end up with nothing. And which in the divine realm is good because it allows your ego, to your personality, to you discover a deeper part of yourself. You say, you know what, I was only on these 7 boards or whatever for the ego's sake.
Yeah, there was a payoff that got them there, and then that's not solid foundation. So when they're there, they can't handle it, like you said, and then inevitably, and it's so fear-based too. So that the fear is what brought them there. They're creating this idea of what they want in life, but it's out of fear. It's not out of divine purpose, and without that connection, then there's really no solid foundation. And
trying to be somebody that they're not.
And that's we've spoken about that too, where there's when you really start to get to know someone, it's like, wow, they can really, paint this amazing picture, and then really when you get down to it, you're thinking they are just struggling.
Exactly.
And it's too bad, and I get why that happens, but it's like the true learning and the lessons can come, and almost like a sense of just being able to let go. There's that saying, let go and let God. Like, if you were to just let it go and trust that you're taken care of, it's a practice, but it's such a different place. So when you do get to wealth consciousness, you're there. And
you know how to handle it.
Totally.
That vibration, that energy that moves through you.
Yeah, and it's not through fear, because it's in total trust Total trust that you got there.
And you've been able to release the story from your past of unworthiness, or any kind of revenge, any thoughts that we have that are not going to serve us, because they're not going to create that dream that we may have within our mind and our heart, and it'll just take us in a whole new different direction, and unfortunately we're going to have to experience that pain and the suffering. But it's asking yourself, where do I pretend in my life? Where do I pretend to be somebody that I'm not? And when we're only focusing on our personality, unfortunately we're only going to live in a superficial world.
And it's a very limiting world.
Oh,
very limiting.
Yes.
As soon as, like we said before, if there's that fear that's driving our personality to act a certain way, to be a certain way, because we're trying to hide our true selves or what, then we're acting, and we have that mask on. And when we start to look at the mask, take it off, and experience life without it, we then finally are able to get in touch with what's going on inside. If there's hurt, there's hurt. If it's pain, it's pain. If it's anger, it's anger. It is what it is. But if we aren't even able to unleash the mask to even look at what's going on, then that is going to be something you carry on always. And the moment we can finally look at it, give attention to it, is how and when we can release it and let it go.
There's nothing to lose in life. Only truth to gain. And I don't know where it is. It's a quote, and I don't know where it came from, but it's so true. There is nothing to lose. We are here to gain our truth, to connect to our authentic self. And when you're living an authentic life, you attract the people in your life that you're meant to be with, and they're meant to learn from in a more positive and uplifting way. And there's nothing to fear in this realm. And it's so beautiful. And you have the choice to make it that way. I know for myself, I used to have a story that I carried around, and I was involved in drugs and alcohol, and tequila was my claim to fame. But that was a limited world, and it was a fear-based world, because I couldn't handle my life. I couldn't handle my relationship back then. I was hiding, pretending I was really happy when I wasn't. And my alcohol, the drugs, it was just all a form of escapism. And then I finally decided to get real and feel my pain, and to go into my pain, into my darkness, to release it. It's the only way you can't run and hide from it.
No, it's so true. And also knowing that, within us is this, bountiful source. It's our true source. That source is greater than any story, any limitation that we have. It's the two selves that we have. We have our limited self, and then we have this, our almighty power, whatever you want to call it, God, spirit, source. That is so powerful that no matter what, it can crush any weakness.
Yes.
But you have to be ready, you have to be willing, and you have to believe that is within you.
Exactly.
And once you, sometimes people have to get to the pit in order for them to go, you know what, I got nothing else, fine, I'll believe this. But
I'm done here.
Yeah, it's like, okay, my way isn't quite working. So why wait to get there? Sometimes it takes getting there to get there, but any moment we can stop and say, you know what, I have to try something different.
Exactly.
I'm willing to go there. And just trusting that it works is all really it takes, and just be willing and open.
Surrender. Surrender to your life. Surrender to who you are. Really.
Yeah.
Fly high. Well, we are here for you, and thank you so much for joining us in this show. And please keep subscribing to our show. We really appreciate your support. And send us emails. We want to hear from you. Any questions? Definitely. We're here, and yes.
Excellent.
Have a great life.
Yes. Tune in next week. Namaste.